It was raining, not pouring, but last night's game against the White Sox wiped out due to Mother Nature. Now the Tribe looks for a split in this two-game series, and Pat Masterson may be just the guy to do it. He threw just one slider in his last start and looks for win number 2 versus the Sox this season next on Channel 3. It's a hot summer Sunday in downtown Cleveland as the Indians wrap up this rain-shortened two-game series today against the Chicago White Sox. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Rain wiped out last night's ball game, so we get back to work here today. And the Indians are going to have to try to find a way to beat the White Sox. Chicago's beaten them 5 out of 6. They're averaging 6 runs a game against the Tribe, thanks in no small part to Carlos Quentin, who's really beat him up with the bat this year.
Well, he's had a very good road trip to this point, and he had a great Friday night coming out with 3 hits. He gave them all their runs and a 3-run home run, and he's an extra base hit machine. And Carlos Quentin against the Indians this year has been terrific. I mean, 12 RBIs in the 6th game. He's got 3 homers, 3 doubles. They got to find a way either to pitch around him or find a way to get him out.
Well, Justin Masterson does have good career numbers against Carlos Quentin, and he's on the hill today. And Justin Masterson has pitched well all season long, but not many have pitched better than him in all of baseball in the month of July as we look at our pitching matchup, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram.
Well, Edwin Jackson going to be a tough customer today. He's 8-1 in his career against the Indians, 4-0 in this ballpark. So if they can get an early lead, that may bode well for Justin Masterson, because in July he's 3-0. He's 1-1 this year against the White Sox, only giving up 2 runs in those 2 starts. So he's a guy that primarily went with a fastball in his last start, made it look very easy against the Twins. He went 7 2/3 innings, did not allow a run. The bullpen gave it up, so let's see if we can get him back on the winning track.
Well, we've got all the exciting play-by-play action coming up next right here on Channel 3 as the Indians battle the White Sox. A hot, humid day here in downtown Cleveland. Temperature 85 degrees at game time, as the Indians behind Justin Masterson will try to beat the White Sox here today. Let's look at Ozzie Guillen's starting lineup for this afternoon's affair. He'll go with Juan Pierre in the leadoff spot, followed by Alexei Ramirez, then Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Carlos Quentin, and A.J. Pierzynski, who has pretty good numbers in his career against Masterson. Alex Rios, Mark Teahan, and Omar Vizquel in the lineup today for Chicago.
Justin Masterson will be making his 21st start this year, and you can see how his season breaks down. First 5 starts, 5-0. He had some run support then. The next 11, he didn't get any. He was 0-6. His last 4 starts, He's 3-0. Could have had a win in his last start, but they only scored one. But Masterson has pitched 2 very good games against the White Sox here. He got the Indians' first win of the year, went 7 innings, 7 hits, gave up 1 run in a win. And back in Chicago on May 18th, he went 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, and that was a 1-0 loss. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. Brantley, Carrera, Buck in the outfield, Chisenhall, Asdrubal, Orlando, Laporta on the infield with Santana behind the plate.
And we're underway as Justin Masterson's first pitch is down and into Juan Pierre. Pierre was 0 for 4 in the series opener. I mean, those numbers you just gave, sometimes stats, it's hard to quantify what they mean, but you go 11 straight starts and the team averages less than 1 run per game.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
That's very hard to do, man. That's pitching at the wrong time. You know, that a lot of times they say it's not how you pitch, it's when.
Yeah.
And believe me, that's a situation where, and he pitched a lot of good games in those 11 starts.
Pierre bangs it by Laporta at first. Over to cut it off is Buck. Pierre on his way to second, and he'll go in sliding with a leadoff double. Now, Juan Pierre is one guy in this lineup who has had good career success against Justin Masterson. That's now 8 hits and 19 career at-bats for Pierre against the Indians right-hander.
Well, he's one of those guys, he knows he's going to get a fastball, and Justin fell behind him, so he wanted to throw him a good strike, and Pierre was ready for it. You don't expect him to pull the ball. He's more of a slap hitter. But with the 2-0 count, he's able to pull it, and he's thinking double all the way, and he is into second base. So a leadoff double for Pierre.
Not many of these White Sox hitters have had a lot of success against Masterson. Ramirez showing bunt pulls it back. He has just 3 hits and 17 career tries against Masterson.
Well, Justin awfully tough on right-handers. And left-handers, I mean, it's just a tough go, and he's been able to command his fastball. Left-handers 278, righties 197.
Ramirez already squaring. Pinching in at the corners. He bunts it and hit himself in the box. 1-1.
Well, he didn't move and you can see it comes right down. It went actually off his bat again. He didn't leave the batter's box, so it is a foul ball.
Chisenhall at third is coming in, and now Laporta charging in at first. And Ramirez bunts it to third.
Nice job.
Chisenhall will go to first for the sacrifice. Pierre goes to third. James Hoyt calling the balls and strikes. Mike Estabrook at first, crew chief Tom Hallion at second, and Phil Cuzzy down at third.
Well, you can see how Ozzie Guillen wants to play it. He wants to get that first run, you know, for Edwin Jackson, especially off Justin Masterson. He's moving him around.
Well, and any time you can get a runner to third base with Paul Konerko coming up, it's not exactly money in the bank, but it's the next best thing.
Yeah.
Konerko 69 runs batted in on the year. And he chops it foul over toward the Indians' dugout. Konerko in his career 4 for 20 against Masterson, as you get a look at Shin-Soo Choo on the mend with that fractured thumb. The 0-1 bounce to short. That'll get the run home. As Asdrubal Cabrera throws out Konerko, and the White Sox lead it 1-0 as Konerko gets his 70th RBI on the year.
And that's all it took was a little ground ball.
Adam Dunn went 2 for 5 in the series opener. Takes the ball down low, 1-1 the count. Same pitch, same result, 2-1. High fly ball, left center field. Brantley and Carrera converge. The center fielder Carrera has it, and the inning is over. But the leadoff double by Juan Pierre leads to the game's first run. Indians coming to bat. All right, White Sox have the early lead, and the Indians will come to bat here. Let's look at Manny Acta's starting lineup today for the Tribe. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Ezekiel Carrera, Michael Brantley, and Asdrubal Cabrera, followed by Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, and Orlando Cabrera, Lonnie Chisenhall, Matt Laporta, and Travis Buck.
Edwin Jackson making his 19th start this year. He has beaten the Indians once this year. He's 8-1 in his career against them. The key for this guy is going to be strike one. When he gets ahead of the hitters, he's tough to hit. He's got a very good slider. Guys are hitting 217 when he goes 0-1. They're hitting over 300 when you can go 1-0. So if you're a hitter for the Indians, I think you just sit down, you look for that first pitch fastball. If you like it, get after it. If not, make him throw strikes. If you can get ahead in the count, you may have some success.
Well, that's definitely the game plan going in. Talked to Bruce Fields, the Indians hitting instructor, and he said, you want to make sure he's throwing his fastball for strikes, especially early in the game, because if he's not, he has been prone to getting a little wild at times, and he can walk people. Fastball misses up high, and he said the problem with Jackson is you don't want to go deep into counts with him because he's got an electric slider that can really bury hitters.
Yeah, it seems like it goes straight down. It is a very good slider.
Finds the strike zone with that fastball to even the count at 1-1. Carrera 1 for 3 in the series opener. Up high and away, 2 balls and a strike. Jackson has had his troubles like a lot of starters in the first inning this year. That evens the count at 2-2. His ERA is 6 in the first inning this year. And that's the highest ERA he has in any inning on the year.
In other words, don't let him settle in. Like a lot of good starters.
A little bit outside, and Carrera did good to hold up. Full count. The right-hander's payoff pitch. Fastball down low, and it's ball 4. And Carrera draws a walk to start the game.
Take a look at the White Sox Home Depot defense this afternoon. They are rated number 1 in the league, only 46 errors Pierre is in left, Rios in center, Quinton in right. T in the start at third, Ramirez at short, Omar Vizquel at second, Konerko is at first with A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Here's Michael Brantley. He was 1 for 4 the other night. And that fastball sails high ball one.
The Indians didn't do Friday night. They didn't walk. So your leadoff hitter, you walk. They only walked once in the last couple games, and that certainly helps an offense when you're struggling. Is any time you can get a guy on base, they say a walk's as good as a hit. It certainly is.
Carrera draws a throw, and they picked him off at first. Looked like he was just taking a secondary lead when Jackson whirled and fired over there.
Got caught in between. That right foot was taking that extra step out to get a lead. Here it goes right there. And as he was putting it out, didn't have time to get back, and the throw was right on the money. He's picked off. So that walk will not pay any dividends.
And a strike called to Brantley to even the count at 1-1. Brantley lines one toward left field. Pierre races back to grab it 2 down. That's going to bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera was 0 for 4 on Friday night. He has gone 4 for 26 in his career against Jackson with 2 doubles and a home run. But it's a little bit of that feast or famine. He's also struck out 8 times. Takes it up high, ball 1. Missed again, 2 balls and no strikes. Changeup, first one I think we've seen from Jackson. He's got a good changeup too. And a good spot to throw it.
Yes, indeed. You're looking fastball 2-0, and he pulls a string, and it was a dandy.
3 balls and a strike, and you can see his fastball location. Struggling with that here in the first inning. And his dribble with a fair ball over the bag down the right field line. He's going to turn and burn. He'll easily get to second base. And it's a 2-out double.
'24th double for Cabrera. Nice hitters count, and you can see the difference. I mean, he's got to come at him again, and that ball was down in the zone. Cabrera, good low ball hitter, gets it past Konerko at first base, and I mean right over the bag. Down in the corner, so an easy double. That'll give Hafner an opportunity with 2 outs here in the first to tie this game up.
Hafner 0 for his last 6. But on the year, he has batted .436 with runners in scoring position. As the Indians look for that early 2-out RBI knock. Jackson out of the stretch. Gets a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the belt.
That's the one thing they haven't been able to do in their last 3 games is hit with runners in scoring position. As you look the numbers at Hafner, there are 2 for 23 in their last 3 games.
Out of play, it's 0-2, and there's probably a direct correlation to why in the last 2 weeks the Indians are averaging just a little better than 4 runs a game. Because if you don't get those 2-out RBI hits,
well, just any kind of hits with a guy. If you get the 2-out RBI hits, those are the toughest ones to get in baseball, in my estimation. But when you can get one, it takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the guys, especially younger guys, because they feel they have to do it all on their own.
But what I was going to say, Rick, is that too many times in the last 2 weeks they've tried to start rallies with 2 outs. And so if you don't get the 2-out hit, then you just can't score. And the inning comes to an end with Chicago on top 1-0 after an inning. McDonald's, the Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothie has arrived. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Second inning, Carlos Quentin, AJ Pierzynski, and Alex Rios. Carlos Quentin was 3 for 5 with a homer on Friday night. And the pitch is down low, ball 1. 20 homers, 60 driven in, 25 doubles for Quentin as he cuts and misses, and it's 1-1. How many at-bats for a hitter against a given starter before you can say, I've got this guy, or, oh, boy, this guy's got me?
Well, sometimes you just have a tough time picking a guy up, and you could see how a right-hander would have that with Masterson. But, you know, you want to see him a few times, at least get him in situations and counts, 2-0, 3-1, and Masterson gets ahead of him and blows him away.
I mean, for Quentin, that's 1 for 17 against Masterson. And
that's enough to know I'm not doing too well against this guy. That's plenty of at-bats to know that, you know, he's a big guy that throws the ball hard and it moves all over the place, and you want to get ahead of him. You want to try and get him early in the count and not let him get ahead of you.
That'll bring up AJ Pierzynski, who's at the other end of the spectrum. He's had good success against Justin, going 8 for 20. That's a .400 average with a couple of doubles.
Well,
but a lot of those numbers were.
You see, when Go ahead.
In previous years when Justin had trouble against lefties. This year it's been a different story.
Well, both he and Juan Pierre are guys that are tough to strike out, so they just try and put the ball in play. They don't try and hit you deep or hit you hard, so they just slap and try and put it in play, and maybe that's why both he and Pierre have had success against Masterson, and both of them are left-handed.
Bounces this one to first. Matt Laporta will take it himself. 2 down. Our great clip of the game, let's go back to Friday night. Jason Kipnis, the rookie making his major league debut. A converted outfielder made a sensational play up the middle and a good presence of mind to bounce the throw on one hop to first to retire the hitter. Relax, you're at Great Clips. And if you missed it earlier on the Indians on Deck show, Kipnis talking with Al Pulaski said, hey, in a pinch, if they need me to go to the outfield, I'll go anywhere they ask me to go, but primarily they want him to focus on second base, and they don't want him to even think about playing in the outfield right now.
When you get called up to the big leagues, you will do anything they ask. There's no question, because it's a dream come true. You're in the big leagues, whatever. You want me to bring the Gatorade cooler out, I'll do that.
That's right. Now Alex Rios, 1-1 count. Takes a strike outside corner. I mean, he painted the black with the fastball.
That's what he has been doing so well.
That's probably the biggest difference.
Command.
This year for Masterson.
He's commanding that fastball to both sides of the plate, and he doesn't have to throw many off-speed pitches. Like we said, in his last start against Minnesota, he threw, what did he have, 104 pitches, and he threw one slider. 104 pitches, he threw one breaking ball. So how good is that fastball, and how much movement, late movement?
Mm-hmm. Back out of play.
There was a breaking ball.
Back goes Santana, but he won't have enough room to get to that.
And you have to show these guys, get them off your fastball occasionally. That was amazing to me in his last start, just one, and he throws one right there. Take him off your fastball, let him know you will throw something else, plant a seed in his mind.
Masterson with a 1-2 and a weakly tap ball to short. Might have broken his bat. And the inning is over. White Sox go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's Chicago 1, Cleveland nothing. And it's been a little tropical, hasn't it, with the storms blowing in and out of here and hot, very warm temperatures.
They've been coming at night, though. The days have been okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming at game time, so we tricked them. We decided to make it a 1 o'clock start today. We'll teach those clouds.
Carlos Santana, Orlando Cabrera, Lonnie Chisenhall for the Tribe here in the second inning. Now fastball strike. Well, we want to send out our congratulations to a couple of former Indians receiving baseball's highest honor today. Robbie Alomar and Bert Blyleven, both being inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York.
Yeah, very special day for both of them.
Yeah. Sandy Alomar is in Cooperstown to attend his brother's induction into the Hall of Fame, so Tom Wiedenbauer is taking over the first base coaching duties this afternoon. There's Tom. The 1-2. Down on the dirt. And congratulations to our buddy Jim Rosenhaus, who's entering the Buffalo Baseball Hall of Fame today, along with former Tribe catcher Tony Pena. Very well-deserved honor. Rosie was the voice of the Bisons from 1996 through 2006 before coming to Cleveland. All kind of Hall of Fame action in your hometown state.
Yeah, New York, they're having fun. Should be good for everybody. Bobby D's at the Cooperstown, representing the Indians for both Blyleven and Alomar.
Santana bounces it to Omar Vizquel, who one day will stand on the steps of Cooperstown and be inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Our trivia question today is brought to you by AT&T. 3 infielders are in the Hall of Fame as a Cleveland Indian. Can you name all 3? We'll have the answer coming up later on. I think I got 2 of them. Some of these you probably have to go back, though. The 1-0 pitch. Orlando Cabrera looks down low. Will Ewick had a nice interview with Omar Vizquel that aired on Indians on Deck today, and Omar still talking about how much fun he has coming back here to Cleveland, reminiscing with friends here about the good old days.
Well, yeah, he played probably in the best era of Indians baseball since the 50s. I mean, when back in the 90s when they came in here and they turned this whole town upside down.
And Omar told Will, he wants to get into coaching and one day managing when his playing days are over.
When?
That's the thing. The way he's going, though, I mean, he's still hitting a respectable 260.
Oh, he could pick it sleeping. He could lay down on his back and still pick it. He doesn't even need a glove. Yeah, it's when do you want to quit? I would love to see him get 3,000 hits. I really would. And I know it's a long shot because the number of at-bats he's going to get. But it would certainly be a treat to watch him get 3,000. He deserves it.
Says in the last few years, he told Will, in the last few years, he's really learned a lot from the managers that he's played for about game situation, game management, how you deal with players. He said, when you're an everyday player, you get caught up in focusing on your job, the task at hand. But he said lately, with more time sitting on the bench and watching the game, he's looking for the next phase of his career, which hopefully will be coaching and one day leading to managing. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Cabrera goes down. First strikeout for Edwin Jackson. 2 down here in the second inning. Our minor league report is brought to you by Kia. Abner Abreu last night in an 11-8 win for Kinston went 3 for 4 with a homer, drove in a pair. pretty gaudy numbers in his last 11, hitting .472. That'll bring up Lonnie Chisenhall. He had a good game Friday night. One of the few guys who was able to solve Gavin Floyd 2 for 3 with a double. A little bit outside. The 1-1. High and away, 2 balls and a strike. Chisenhall rifles it into right field. Quinton over to cut it off. And Lonnie has a 2-out single here in inning number 2.
Again, for the second straight inning, a 2-out hit. Looks like Chisenhall picked on a slider here from Jackson and drilled it to right field. Take a look. Krasinski sitting right down the middle, and there it is. That slider, but that's middle third, and those left-handers like it in there. Chisenhall does. Turns on it. Second hit for the Indians.
Well, once again, they'll look for a 2-out hit to keep the inning rolling. Matt Laporta 0 for 4 on Friday night. Fastball straightened him up. Missed again, 2 balls and no strikes.
This will be good for some of the right-handers in that lineup to look and see on a 2-0 count what Edwin Jackson may choose to throw here.
Well, remember, he was 2-0 to Cabrera, a left-handed hitter in that situation, threw him the changeup. Wouldn't expect that same pitch here, though. Maybe a slider. Right back to Jackson.
That's exactly what it was.
Easy play to end the inning. Through 2, it's the White Sox 1 and the Indians nothing. Back here, top of the third. Want to remind you to stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller taste greatness moment. For Chicago, Mark T. and Omar Vizquel and Juan Pierre here in the third. Good day to be a vendor. If you've got the beverages in your hand.
Yeah, the cold, that's right. Stay hydrated.
Mark Teahan thinking about a bunt, but he rolls it foul up the third baseline. Teahan just has not been able to get it going with the bat, hitting just .207 coming in.
Yeah, and the platoon going on with Brent Morrell.
In the last almost 3 months now, he's hit .167.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, he's been a little disappointment, I think, for the Sox coming over here. Not being able to produce. They thought he would, getting him from the Kansas City Royals.
Well, especially because they weren't asking him to be the guy. I mean, just sort of sit down in the bottom of the order and maybe get some fastballs in certain situations. And
felt he'd hit more home runs in Chicago, certainly, than Kansas City.
Masterson ahead 1-2. Missed up high with that fastball to even the count. .67% of the Indians' remaining games will be in the Central Division. The White Sox, the Tigers, the Twins, and of course they've got 9 left with the Royals.
Right. Yeah, Kansas City will end up closing out this homestand at the end of it.
Driven to center. Carrera had him played perfectly. 1 away. Let's check in today for the first time with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, Rick, the award-winning Rock and Blast is going to be here this Friday, July 29th. Twice the fireworks, twice the music, twice the entertainment. Also, it is Sugardale Dollar Dog Night on Friday. You can get tickets right now for as low as just $8. Log on to Indians.com, guys.
Thanks, Katie, and a nice hand for Omar Vizquel as he steps in to take his first at bat today and looks at a strike. Blooped down the line. That's going to be a tough play, but it drops foul. By the way, Katie reporting she talked to Alex White. And Alex White just the other day threw his first bullpen session. And he'll throw another one on Monday as he continues his rehab, coming back from the finger problem he had early in the season. Boy, he was throwing the ball so well. The Indians' rookie starter, and there he is. And he's pretty excited about the idea that he could still get back and help the team at some point this year. So far, so good. Everything going according to plan as Vizquel grounds out 2 away. Takes us to the top of the order in Juan Pierre, who doubled and scored the only run of this game in the first. Slaps that the other way foul. And you talked about it in his first at bat. That's the kind of hitter you expect him to be, but he got ahead in the count and got a pitch he was able to pull down the first baseline.
Yes, he did. A 2-1 pitch he hit. And Masterson says, I'm not going to fall behind him this time. I'm going right at him. I'm going to force him to really hit the ball. And he's fouled off, too, and now he's got him where he wants him because this guy will expand the strike zone. But he's also known to be a good bad ball hitter. I mean, because he will just give in. He and Brzezinski, 2 of the toughest guys to strike out in the league.
Knocked him down with that pitch.
Tough to hit that one.
Like a cut block in football. Took the legs right out underneath him. There's the 1-2. Now the 2-2. And that's hit into right field. Pierre has his second hit of the ball game. And the only 2 hits for Chicago today.
Look at this pitch from our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. And Masterson tried to come in with a fastball again. It had good movement. See that ball going down, but you see how quick he is in there? He's just one of those guys that he will get the bat to the baseball and foul it off. He had a terrific at-bat, about a 9 or 10 pitch at-bat on Friday night. This is a count, though, where you may see him run. In his day, there's no question he would have been running. You know, he's getting a little older. He's been caught 11 times this year, and that's the most of any base stealer in the league, but that's not to say he's not going to go ahead and try, because he has 15 stolen bases. And you can steal them off, Justin. 9 guys have done it, but 9 guys have been caught. So he has the most caught stealings of any pitcher in the league.
Swung on and missed. And it's 0-2.
Now would be the time to try it. Now would be a good time also for Masterson and the Indians to just throw a good fastball up and away that Ramirez can't hit in case Pierre is taking off.
Runner holds, and it's outside 1-2. Runner goes, and the ball is chopped towards short. Cutting in front is Chisenhall, makes a fine moving play to retire Ramirez, and we'll go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Chicago. Lead. Bottom of the third, Travis Buck will lead it off. Then it's Ezekiel Carrera and Michael Brantley. Well, happy birthday, Slider son.
Yes, indeed. It is Slider's birthday. He's got all his boys in for the weekend, or his friends. How old is Slider, by the way? He's got to be what?
Old.
Well, he's not as old as we are.
Well,
we know that.
In Slider years, he's old.
That's true. He could be older than us in Slider years. I think he's about 20, 21 now.
He can. So you're saying he can drive?
Yes. Oh, he's been driving for a while.
How the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Edwin Jackson has given up a couple of 2-out hits here today. One in each of the first 2 frames. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. To walk the leadoff man, Ezekiel Carrera, to start the ball game, but Carrera was picked off almost immediately thereafter. Full count. .43 pitches so far for Jackson. 23 have been strikes. Up high, ball 4. Second leadoff walk today for the Tribe. And that will bring up Ezekiel Carrera. Log on to STOHD.com for your buy one, get one free $25 gift card from City Tap. Located just steps away from the ballpark and the queue, game day specials include hand-packed burgers, fresh cut fries, and a choice of 40 beers on tap. Stop by after the game and enjoy the late-night menu. Log on to STOHD.com for your buy one, get one free gift card from City Tap. Ezekiel Carrera. As you see, Travis Buck at first.
Well, they think something's going on, and rightfully so. Carrera, a good bunter, so Ozzie says, I'm going to pitch out in case they try and do the hit and run, thinking they're going to bunt first pitch, so they're already thinking about it. And the way the offense is going, if I'm Manny, I bunt this guy over too.
Drag bunt, and it goes foul.
He went for the base hit there.
If he gets that onto the grass, he might have a great chance, but once it got to the dirt, it just took off on him.
You know, that first pitch, nothing wrong with trying it. He tried to take it with him. And he might have been able to beat everybody to the bag if it is on the grass. But now the job is get him over.
Martin planted on the grass at third. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, now would be the time if you want to try to hit and run if it ever crossed Manny's mind. It would be the count. Now you're pretty much going to take the pitch out away. And if you have a belief that Carrera can put it on the ground, start your runner.
The set by Jackson. Carrera with a good bunt. Pierzynski will pounce on it. And he throws him out at first, 1 away. Buck goes into scoring position.
Nicely done.
Let's go back to the studios right now for our first in-game update today with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's go to Fenway Park where the Mariners are trying desperately to end a 14-game losing streak, and maybe today's the day. Miguel Olivo, home run in the first inning, his 14th of the year. It's a 2-run shot. Yes, I know it's early, but it's 2-0 Seattle over the Red Sox. Matt, back to you.
That's way early in that ballpark, Al.
Boy, and that's an incredible fall from grace for the Mariners, who had played so well for most of the season. But, man.
Well, they got a pretty good guy on the mound for him, the rookie Michael Pineda. But far from over in Fenway.
Michael Brantley takes the first pitch strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Got a message from our good buddy Jeff Gears, who fills in occasionally for us here in the booth as a alternate statistician.
The Lobster.
He's here at the ballpark out in left field enjoying the beach party.
Is that right?
I just hope they don't try to boil him in a pot of water.
No doubt.
Crack his claws.
Here. The Lobster is in the house.
Up high. And Brantley with a one-hopper to Omar Vizquel, who checks the runner. And there are 2 down.
Well, you don't want to miss the Rally Alley again next weekend. It'll be Friday and Saturday. The street behind the bleachers will turn into a festival. There'll be food, entertainment, and I'm telling you, a lot of stuff going on. Magicians, jugglers, I think sword swallowers and everything back there. Admission to the Indians Rally Alley is free. Come on out next Friday and Saturday.
As Dribble Cabrera doubled right over the bag at first, his first time up. That came with 2 outs in the first inning. Looking for a 2-out hit here to potentially tie the game.
This is, though, when Jackson gets tough. Coming into today with nobody on, guys are hitting 332 off, and with runners on 237. But when you get guys in scoring position, just a hair over 200. It's at 202.
Now, the one thing about Jackson, I mean, he's only given up the 2 hits. But it almost appears that, he's kind of laboring a little bit. I mean, he's thrown 28 balls, 26 strikes. A far cry from Gavin Floyd, who just was free and easy and barely broke a sweat, it seemed, the other night. Bouncer to second, though, and Jackson will get himself out of trouble. So after 3 complete, it's the White Sox 1 and the Indians nothing. All right, back here at Progressive Field. It's a hot one. 85 degrees at game time, but boy, the humidity is really making it stifling. Although we got a decent breeze, it looks like, blowing out toward right center field. They want to send along hello to Bruce and Chuck from Ryan and Roman in Youngstown.
There they are. We got you, pal. I bet Bruce and Chuck helped them make that sign.
Paul Konerko fouled up the third base side. He drove in the only run of the game with an RBI ground out in the first.
Oh, I can't believe he got out of the way of that one. This one started way in, and sometimes you jump behind it. That ball almost started off behind him, but Konerko got out of the way.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Swung on and missed. It's 2-2. Fouled into the club seats.
I'd like to send along some birthday wishes today. Dave Pijak is turning 75. That's Megan's grandfather, who is the intern here. Iris Boehner of Beloit is 84. Mort Watchenberg of Toledo is 66. And Kevin Tissot of Broadview Heights is 44. Happy birthday to each and every one of you.
We had some rained out birthdays from yesterday. Jamie Ladd celebrated his 43rd yesterday in Tucson, Arizona. Stomping grounds of the Indians.
For many years.
And in Ashland, Natalie Atkins celebrated her 7th birthday, and Julia Marquette Rossford her 20th. Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Masterson gets his second strikeout as he fires it past Paul Konerko for out number 1 here in the 4th. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning here at Progressive Field. White Sox lead the Indians 1-0 with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Also, while we have a moment, we want to send along our deepest sympathies and condolences to Indians media relations assistant Jeff Seibel on the passing of his father, George. Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with Jeff and his family. But Jeff sent me a note today. Circle of life kind of stuff. His sister Kate is celebrating her birthday today. So,
wow. Well, you're right. Thoughts and prayers with the family.
The Indians with a 3-man shift on the infield for Dunn on the right side. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Got him looking. Back-to-back Ks to start the 4th for Masterson. You could see Dunn flinch as if he wanted to offer at it, but he couldn't pull the trigger.
Could not pull the trigger. Here it comes again on the Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. It's right there. It was no fooling anybody. I don't know if he picked it up, but he throws it right by him, right down the middle.
And here's Carlos Quentin coming up, who struck out his first time up today. A lot of strikeouts for Dunn this year. He just keeps piling them up. Well, jam job to second. And an easy inning for Masterson as the White Sox go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Tribe down a run. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Indians trail at 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana, and Orlando Cabrera due up for the Tribe. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning here, and we're joined now by Dr. Michael Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic, and he's here to talk about the Let's Move It campaign that we've been promoting here on Sports Time Ohio. And, Doc, I'm probably guilty of this like a lot of people. You think about working out, and you think, oh, geez, I got to go to the gym, I've got to get ready. And you're saying you don't have to worry about all that. You can do it in a lot simpler fashion. And keep yourself...
Anything you do to move, we want you to get 10,000 steps a day. And they've got the Indians and the clinic have a special thing where there's Move It Mondays, August 1st, 8th, and 15th, where they open the field between, I think it's 11:30 and 1:30 p.m., you go to Gate A, sign in, and you can get to walk around the track and have fun as if you're an Indian.
Well, that's a nice deal. The Indians are out of town, but you have 2 hours to come out and just relax. Anybody in the neighborhood open to the public, right?
It's totally open to the public, and the more times you do it, you can sign up for a rewards card. The goal of the whole campaign is just to show that an active lifestyle can be a lot of fun, easy to do. You don't have to go to get real dressed up and go to a gym in spandex or anything else.
Well, then that leaves me out.
Have you seen this guy in his workout outfit?
But, that's the whole thing. Move it after the game on Sundays. Kids get to run the bases, but you're opening it to the grown-ups, and then let's get everybody behind it.
Exactly. And you get to send, if you've got great videos, upload them at letsmoveit.org. And you can win prizes. It's the Indians, the Cavs, and the Browns have all participated, and you get to win the winning videos, get to win game packs, and pretty darn good tickets.
But for a lot of us, you hear things about, you need to get your heart rate up to do this or to lose weight. You need to burn this many calories. And the message you're trying to get out there is just being active in any form of fashion is going to, help you stay healthy.
Exactly. To get your heart rate to a set rate, all of that, yes, it's beneficial. But it's really BS. It's bad science. Anything you do to get walking is good for you.
I like that. BS, bad science.
Now, when people come out here on the Mondays to walk around, do you have people over here that they can talk to? And
Slider will be here.
Again? Slider's everywhere. It's his birthday today.
Is it 50 years?
Not quite. 21, I think.
21.
Yeah.
But in any case, that's right. And you can there are people here who will talk to you about tobacco cessation if you want that. But it is just to get fun, and there are dietitians here who will talk to you about whatever you eat.
Oh, Travis Hafner with a drive to right center, but it dies out there, and Carlos Quinton has that for out number one.
A little bit off the end of the bat right there.
Do you find that you fight misinformation a lot in your line of work as far as the misconceptions about what it takes to just, leading a healthy lifestyle?
That's right. It all. So while you're watching a game, just stand up and walk around the TV. And during the commercials, you can do, I try and do push-ups or a plank.
That's like Jack LaLanne used to do, man. He'd sit down, watch a game, do some push-ups, do something.
I was on a TV show with him once, and he said, "You look like you're pretty fit. Can you do some push-ups?" And I said, "Yeah, I do 70. I was doing 70 at that time of military push-ups. I thought it was pretty good." He said, "Try these." He then put his thumbs.
Well, he had to top you, but Jack LaLanne used to do anything. He'd go in swimming,
amazing,
bringing a boat.
But that's it. Just having fun in any way is the key to, in fact, getting active.
Now,
that's the whole goal of the campaign of letsmoveit.org. Is to get active and to choose a little bit better things so that we can have a healthier Cleveland.
Well, and we've already had a couple of Mondays here. How were the turnouts so far?
Oh, they were pretty darn good. We didn't know what to expect, but we got about 500-600 people.
And you'd like to double, triple that and get everybody out here, as many people as you can, correct?
Exactly. The more the merrier. It's open. It's free. Gate A, and I think it's 11:30 to 1:30.
Now, how many times around the track? Would that be a quarter of a mile around?
I actually don't know how many. I did.
Well, Doc, in between innings, you go down there and start running around, and please let us know, okay? So we can give the people information.
We'll time you up here in the booth.
When they have the hot dog race, I want to see that blue shirt running and beat those guys. Ketchup, mustard, onion, beat them.
You're not going to let me trip them?
You can do that. I have somebody down in the seats that might help you out. I got some guys from the Falls here that'll help you.
We want onion to win. It's the healthiest, right?
Right.
1-1 pitch to Orlando Cabrera, a little bit high, 2 balls and a strike. So you've been with the clinic for 7 years now?
Right, and we have a wellness institute. We said we had to try and see if we could promote wellness among our own 40,000 employees, lower our costs, which makes us more competitive, and then teach all of Northeast Ohio to be more competitive.
Thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
looking
you
for
very
you
much.
in the race.
I'll
Dr.
keep listening to you guys.
Dr. Michael Roizen from the Cleveland Clinic with us here. It's 1-0 Chicago. By United, proud to fly the Cleveland Indians. And by Panini's. Go to paninisgrill.com for their new food and drink menu and a location near you. All right, we go now to the 5th inning here at Progressive Field, 1-0 Chicago. Justin Masterson has retired the White Sox 1-2-3 twice today. Set him down in order in the 4th, striking out a pair. A.J. Pierzynski grounded out to first his first time up. 58 pitches now for Justin Masterson. 70% have been for strikes so far. He's got 7 ground ball outs. Pierzynski lifts one down the right side, but that's out of play. Up and in. He rolls it to second base where Orlando Cabrera throws him out, 1 down. Back to the studios once again. Al has another update from Boston.
All right, you guys were right. It was early. Kevin Youkilis, first inning, gone. 3-run home run. After Seattle scored 2 in the first, Boston scores 5. Red Sox are now a 5-2. Seattle now looking at losing their 15th in a row. Back to you.
Oh, there's a long way to go in that one, Al. Don't worry about it. That's Fenway Park. You got to get offense to win in that ball yard.
Alex Rios with a swing and a miss. Fouled back. You know, the other day, Rick, we were talking about, and I don't remember how it came up, but we were talking about Addie Joss.
Right.
Who pitched back in the early 1900s for the Indians. Through 2 no-hit games against these Chicago White Sox. It was 100 years ago today when they played that first unofficial All-Star game at League Park. July 24th.
100 years ago today, huh?
Yeah.
No kidding.
The other 7 teams in the American League all sent representatives, and there were 9 future Hall of Famers that took part in that game. Ty Cobb, Frank Home Run Baker, Eddie Collins, Walter Johnson, Ed Walsh, speaker. And I mentioned that Ty Cobb's trunk was lost on the way to the game, and
right.
he had to wear an Indians
uniform.
uniform. They sold 15,000 tickets for that game and raised more than $12,000 for Addie Joss's family. And I mentioned that he grew up in Toledo, and he threw his second no-hitter April 20th, 1910 against the White Sox. The next April, he died of tubercular meningitis. I mean, you talk about just out of nowhere.
Wow.
And, of course, it's a long time ago, and medicine's come a long way since then, but certainly it was a real tragedy for such a young man to be cut down. And a local guy at that, from Toledo, Ohio, and pitched here in Cleveland, was a phenomenal talent. But, yeah, Redbird mentioned to me, he said, I think it was 100 years ago today, and I had that folder in my briefcase because I was just fascinated by his story. Addie Joss, who a lot of people just don't know much about because you're talking about the early 1900s.
Well, 1900, that was before Fenway Park was built, I believe, and also Wrigley, the only other two ballparks that remain.
Another great inning for Justin Masterson. He set down 7 Sox in a row, but the Indians trail it 1-0. One to nothing, going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom third of the Indians' order due here. Alani Chisenhall, Matt Laporta, and Travis Buck. Chisenhall, a line drive single to right field his first time up, but that came with 2 outs. Both Indians' hits today have come with 2 down. Up high. Chisenhall shoots it back out of play. 2-1.
The Indians have had 6 counts of 2-0. I mean, situations where they can hit it. They're 1 for 5 in that situation, and he's been 5 of 15 first pitch strikes coming into this inning. Like you said, Gavin Floyd the other night, 22 of 27, so total opposite. But he's been able to make his pitches when he's been behind. And both the Indians' hits have come with 2 outs. He has walked 2. He picked off Carrera in the very first inning, and then he left Buck stranded out there in the 3rd.
Now the 2-2. And Chisenhall strikes out. Second K for Jackson. 1 down here in the 5th. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Pitching the name of the game here today, and both have been very good. The only run in this game was a leadoff double by Juan Pierre. They sacrificed him to third. He came home on an RBI groundout. Meanwhile, Edwin Jackson has given up the two out hits, but has been very good at keeping the Indians off the board so far. Matt Laporta.
Well, you mentioned in the open how good the Sox pitching has been since the All-Star break. They've been settling down and doing it like they're capable of. You know, they went to a 6-man rotation earlier in the year when Jake Peavy was healthy. He's been on the DL, but these guys are starting to pitch like they thought they would.
Well, Matt Laporta with a 1-out single between third and short. His first hit in the series. And that's going to bring up Travis Buck.
Well, the first hit without 2 outs. So Matt Laporta comes up, picks on a slider. He finds the hole between short and third. That one was, he took a little more off this pitch. But Matt did a good job keeping his hands back. Third hit for the Indians.
Caught the outside corner. Buck thought it was a little wide of the mark. And that was right there, 97 miles an hour. I know Jackson throws hard, but he's consistently had it up there above
mid-90s.
95.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never thought he threw that hard. I knew he had a pretty good arm, but 97 I didn't think, unless his gun's a little trumped up.
Little squib job towards short. Only play is at first, and they get Buck 2 down. Tying run goes into scoring position. And Ezekiel Carrera coming to bat.
Well, catch an encore presentation of the award-winning Rock and Blast on Saturday. Fireworks, lights, scoreboard, and a classic rock soundtrack. It's the biggest show of the year. Create your memory starting at $8. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
So Ezekiel Carrera will try to even the game up here if he can come through against Jackson. And he will. Base hit into right field. Coming around third, Matt Laporta is going to be waved home. He will score. And we are tied at 1. Ezekiel Carrera with a 2-out RBI single. His 4th RBI on the year. And we're all even up at 1 apiece.
Yeah, first hit with a runner in scoring position, and there's your 2-out
ribbon. It comes with 2 outs.
And that's okay. I mean, that's something now you can relax a little bit. They tie the ball game up. Carrera comes up, going the 3rd time through the lineup. It's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. And there it is, a fastball down and in. And he just drops the bat head, and there it goes. 2 outs. Laporta comes in to score. We have a new ball game.
And now Michael Brantley 0 for 2. He is fly to left and grounded to second. Carrera right now saying, you got me once, you're not going to get me again. But the key for him is probably to get out there early and get set, get his feet set. Jackson got him back in the first one. He was still trying to get his lead.
There's 2 different guys. Some pitchers, they'll hold the ball in their hand that they're going to throw it with, like Jackson does. Other guys will keep it in the glove. You can wait or get wherever you want when the guy's in the glove.
That'll end the inning, but the Indians have come back to tie the game with a 2-out RBI hit here in the 5th. Subway restaurant to pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for the Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. One now as we go to the 6th inning. Those folks are just taking refuge from the heat here today. We've got a little bit of cloud cover, but it's almost turned into a hazy afternoon down.
Yeah, it seems like the sun's out, but you're right, it's hazy.
Omar Vizquel grounded out his first time up, takes a strike. And Vizquel with a liner to right field and a base hit. Well, the White Sox get their leadoff man aboard for the second time today.
Well, Omar gets a high sinker out over the plate, and he's able to pull it into right field. So the two guys with the hits, Pierre and Vizquel, the number 9 hitter, and this guy right here.
Scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one.
And Omar, a guy, with 400 steals in his career. He's only stolen 1 this year, but a guy that used to love to just walk off the base, and you'd have to make him stop.
Pierre with a good bunt. Santana jumps on it. Throws high to first. Laporta keeps the foot on the bag, though. 1 down on the sacrifice.
Well, you can see how Ozzie Guillen's playing this game. Right from the first inning, he says, let's go. I'm going to sacrifice my guys when I get them out. I'm going to take my chance because I want to get my guy the lead.
That's the third sacrifice of the game. The White Sox with 2, the Indians with 1. Both teams kind of have the similar mindset. You don't figure you're going to play for the big inning here today. You want to take your shot when you have it. Next pitch here will be number 75 for Justin. He's thrown 50 of his 74 for strikes.
As tough as he is to get hits off of, and you can see why. You want to play for that lead. You get that one, they got to score 2 to beat you.
Now Alexei Ramirez 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. The 0-1 pushed him back off the dish. Missed low, 2-1. The Angels will come to town for a 3-game series starting tomorrow night. They're in Baltimore. They lead the Orioles 3-0 in that game.
We have a Carmona-Dan Herron matchup tomorrow at 7.
Tapped foul. Angels began the day 4 games behind Texas in the AL West. And we'll have it for you at 7 on Sports Time Ohio tomorrow night. Masterson's 2-2. Popped back out of play.
I want to send along congratulations to Mel and Georgianne Walters celebrating their 47th wedding anniversary from Mineral Ridge, Ohio.
Now the 2-2 from Justin. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. That's 5 Ks for the Indians right-hander. 2 down here in the inning. Let's get the answer to our trivia question today. I told you I had 2 of them, Napoleon Lajoie and Lou Boudreau. But the third one, I can't even think. Joe Sewell.
Okay.
I'd have been here guessing a while.
Yeah, all old timers. That goes back a while. Okay, here's a situation right now. Forget about it. I wouldn't waste any time.
No.
Thank you. They're putting them on. I agree with that. You don't let this guy beat you when you've got Adam Dunn on deck. That'll be the first walk for Masterson, and it's going to be intentional, and rightfully so. Leading their team in ribbies with 70. Not the 70th in the first inning on a ground out to short.
So the intentional walk issued to Konerko, and Adam Dunn, who flied to center in the first and struck out looking in the fourth, will be the batter as Santana goes to the mound to talk strategy with Masterson.
That's the 8th time this year that Konerko has been walked intentionally. And sometimes, that would be the guy in this lineup. You're going to make whoever is batting behind him come at you. Now, Tim Belcher going to run to the mound to have a quick little talk with Masterson.
He struck him out looking at a fastball his last time up. Well, it's a critical moment in the game here, given that it's still only the 6th inning, but runs being at a premium. And Tim Belcher just wants to make sure Santana and Masterson are on the same page with how they want to approach.
Runs are at a premium, but the Indians came back just to tie this game last inning with a 2-out base hit. So now is when you really want to put the 0 on a board. Imperative if you're a pitcher, after your team scores, to throw a 0 up there. Justin has that opportunity, and he's going to give it a whirl.
It's outside for ball 1. Down and in, 2 balls, no strikes. This is probably not what they envisioned when they left that meeting at the mound.
Well, you could see Dunn this year, he's just had a tough year.
Clobbers that one, just foul. Oh, man. Maybe a half a foot.
See what you do when you get those hitters' counts. Those guys can sit down and look for a pitch, and he just misses a double. That ball down the line. He had to go at him. He went at him and threw him a strike, but he just gets out in front. You can see it misses by about a foot or 2. So a big break there for the Indians. Ooh. Yeah, that's when you hold your breath.
Indians have that shift on for Dunn. And that's hit in the air to center field. Back goes Carrera, still going back. And now he settles under it. He drops the ball. 2 runs are going to score. And Dunn's into second base. And the White Sox lead it 3-1.
You know, he took his eye off it. He got back to it. And then all of a sudden, I think he caught a cleat, and it sort of made the ball jump, and he doesn't catch it. But had plenty of room. And that ball was up there, and he's looking up. He has the glasses on. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
They're on the top of his hat.
Oh, they're not even down. How about that?
He lost. You could see he lost it at the last minute.
Unbelievable. Don't even get me started. Then there is no Sun problem. If he doesn't have him down, he just boots it for whatever reason. Don't look up and say there's Sun now, boy, with the glasses on your hat. That's 2 runs for the White Sox.
2-run error.
No question. You got to be kidding me. Got to catch that ball. Unbelievable. Wow, tough break for the Tribe right there. Should be out of the inning, 2 unearned runs, and he's not out of it yet.
Carlos Quentin shoots it back foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, this is sometimes when a play like that happens, a pitcher, I mean, it's a natural human instinct to have a letdown.
Yeah.
But Masterson can't afford to because he still has a chance to keep his team right in the game.
Well, his team should be in on the bench and keep it a 1-1 ball game. That's uncalled for. Routine fly ball to center field, you drop it.
Now the 1-2. I mean, if the sun was an issue,
it wasn't.
Then the glasses should be down.
It's not an issue
On
it
his face
be.
now, but they're still on top of his
they
hat.
are. It's not an issue. That's what tells me it's not an issue. That ball, he just didn't catch it.
The 1-2. Quentin takes a look. It's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Watch again.
He squares around, and right here you think, all right, he's got it.
Yeah, but he had a little trouble, and then he looked away at the end, and then he looks back up like it's Sun. Well, if it's Sun, then the glasses should be on. And they haven't been put on, so I'm taking it's not Sun. He just didn't make the play.
Chop foul. Now the 2-2. That's like fumbling inside your own 5-yard line where you just give it to them.
You know what? I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, the plays, it should be over. They should be in, and you got to move on. You've got to get this guy out. You got to stop the inning. It seems like it's taking the air out of everybody in the ballpark.
You think?
So, get your out. You got to come in, and now you're going to have to score. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it.
Strikes him out.
Attaboy.
Tip your cap to Masterson. He gets the strikeout to end the inning, but now the Indians have some work to do. Down 3-1, middle of the 6th. 6 lead now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. I got my partner calmed down. He's ready to go the rest of the game now.
Oh, I'm all set. Hey,
you know what? You called him. That you could just feel it. The air went completely out of this park.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, they were disappointed. It was a big situation in the ball game, but there's still some ball game left, so you got to come back and battle.
As Dribble Cabrera 1 for 2 with a double.
You know, you look at it this way. Carrera tied the game with 2 outs and drove in the Indians' only run. But the unfortunate thing, he let 2 White Sox runs in the top half of the inning and gave it right back. So the Indians got to battle. You can sit back and you can sit back and feel bad, but no, there's 4 innings left here.
Can't hang your head now.
They got 4 at bats left. You know, he knows he should have caught it more than anybody. Nobody feels worse than him right now because no one said a word to him since he's been off the field. He knows.
In the dirt. Good block by Przinsky now for his Dribble Cabrera.
But the unfortunate thing, when you're not scoring and you're offensive, you can't give up any runs whatsoever. And we said anytime you get into a divisional game, it could be one break here or there, one boot of a baseball here or there, and the other team takes advantage and you don't. It's just time for your teammates to pick you up. That's all there is to it.
The 2-2 to Cabrera. Back out of play. Inside, full count. So his Dribble down on the count early, but he's worked it back to full. And that would be huge to get that leadoff man aboard here to try to come right back with Hafner, Santana due next. The payoff pitch.
Didn't give in. He threw him a very nice slider down, and he was lucky to get a piece of it. Watch this. This slider, a lot of slider has some tilt to it, and it'll come in. His seems to go straight down. And, it's late movement. We don't see it on television, but that ball goes down late. And all of a sudden you commit. You think, here comes another one. You think it's a fastball, and then all of a sudden the bottom disappears.
An 8-pitch at bat for his Dribble. And
there you
go. That one is ball 4. The Indians do get that leadoff man aboard, tying run to the plate.
Good at bat.
In the form of Travis Hafner. Our Miller Taste Greatness moment on this date in 1983. George Brett at Yankee Stadium. This is one
How
where
many
living
times
infamy.
have you seen this one? You see him get on top of that ball and tomahawk it. Look at, and who else is umpiring? Who's
Tim
that?
McClellan.
You got it. There's
Watch
Joe
George
Brinkman.
Brett now lose his mind.
No, he didn't. He was just a little upset.
I mean, if
He was not mad.
They got him hogtied. But they later came back and overruled McClellan's decision, and they had to go back and replay the rest of that game.
Yeah, oh boy. What year was that? 1981?
83.
83.
All right, here's Travis Hafner. 0 for 2 today, 0 for 6 in the series. And he couldn't help himself. Chased it in the dirt.
Yeah, he thought, and then all of a sudden there goes that slider. And then you can see that hurt his hand trying to check it.
Up high with the heater. And the count evens at 1-1. Asdrubal Cabrera at first base. Held there by Konerko. Jackson just over 90 pitches in the game now. In the bottom of the 6th inning. And he missed down and away, 2-1.
There you go.
Jackson, a guy who routinely goes 100 pitches and beyond. He's thrown as many as 122 in a game this year, and that was 2 starts ago in a game against Kansas City in which he logged 122 pitches in just 7 innings of work.
Well, in his no-hitter, what did he throw, 140 something?
It was a ton.
Yeah, 149, I believe.
2-1 pitch. Caught the corner.
Yeah, Hafner might have been looking for that slider, but he wasn't looking for it away.
Yeah, it was 149 pitches when he threw that no-hitter last year at Tampa Bay. He walked 8 in that game and struck out 6.
Still a no-hitter.
He's walked 3 so far here this afternoon with 2 strikeouts. Full count.
You notice how he didn't come set there. He just came to his paws and boom. He tried to.
him.
Yeah, he did. And then throw that fastball inside to back him. This is his 6th full count of the day.
Here we go. The set in the 3-2. And Hafner got a piece of that, and Brzezinski couldn't hold it. So he stays alive.
That hard biting slider bites Brzezinski a little bit. Just off the end of the bat. Same thing Cabrera did with that 3-2 slider. He fouled it off. It was in an excellent spot, and you see it jumps down and bites Brzezinski in the leg.
At times he's had a hard breaking slider. At times he hasn't been able to control it. He tried to throw one to Cabrera on the 3-2 pitch previously and walked him. He wants another one. Nope. Looked like Jackson changed his mind. Cabrera takes off, and the 3-2 pitch is lined into right center field, a base hit. Asdrubal around second on his way to third. He'll be waved home. No relay throw to the plate. Now Vizquel does make one late, but Cabrera scores, and the Indians have made it a 1-run game.
That's a nice play right there. I like him starting Cabrera, even though they're down. Hafner hits a line shot. And the reason why he's able to score and they can stay aggressive is because they did start him. By the time Quinton could get over to that ball and pick it up, he barehands it, and he hits Vizquel. Cabrera running all the way. I mean, he didn't hesitate, and that enabled him to score. That's a single. Hafner couldn't go to second base because the throw hit the cutoff man. And look at the hustle.
He never breaks stride.
No, you do not. You can't break stride. When that coach is sending you, you go. He just gets in front of the throw. So an RBI single by Hafner makes it a 3-2 game. And back come the Indians. Trying to pick up a teammate.
Tying run is at first now. Still nobody out. Carlos Santana to the plate, and the White Sox bullpen is getting busy. And Santana looks at a breaking ball for a strike. He is 0 for 2. Both times today he is grounded to second. Will Oman is up in the Sox bullpen as they look at who he potentially could be coming in to face.
Well, it looks like it'll be Chisenhall.
And another ground ball to second. This time they're going to try to turn 2, and they will. 3 times today, Santana has bounced the ball to Omar Vizquel, and that twin killer gets Jackson out of some trouble. Let's go back to the studios right now for a quick in-game update once again with Al.
All right, Matt, let's go to New York, where Curtis Granderson is at it again. 3-2 Yankees, make it 5-2. Two-run homer for Curtis Granderson, his 27th of the year. That's tied for second in all of Major League Baseball in the home run race. It is now 6-2 Yankees against Oakland. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. There is Orlando Cabrera 0 for 2. This will be pitch number 100 for Edwin Jackson. And it's quickly 0-2. Just a bit outside.
Yeah, that one landed in the left-handed batter's box.
You know, Jackson's one of those guys, though. He had a game in Detroit with the shutout. He allowed 11 base runners in a complete game shutout.
That one hit just beyond the grass out in front of home plate.
And now the 1-2 pitch. Up high with it. Popped up behind the plate, out of play. Travis Hafner's RBI single gets a little momentum back for the Indians as Drupal Cabrera scoring all the way from first base on that play. It's a one-run game now. And the 2-2. And he stays alive. Przinsky unable to hold on to the tip. Up and in, full count. Oh. He's had some full counts today.
Yeah, 7.
Lonnie Chisenhall would be next. Jackson with the payoff. And he strikes him out. So the Indians get a run back. They trail 3-2 as we go to the 7th.
One-run ball game. The Indians trailing 3-2 right now, and the Angels will be in town starting tomorrow through Wednesday. You can get your tickets right now at Indians.com. And then this weekend, Kids Fun Day returns when the Royals come to town. We've got brand new activities out on the Gateway Plaza, speed pitch, batting cages. We've got it all. Also, Sunday, the kids can stay to move it around the bases, sponsored by the Cleveland Clinic. Once again, go to Indians.com. You can get tickets for as low as $8. Matt, Rick, back up to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Katie. And we go to the 7th inning with the Tribe trailing at 3-2. Masterson closing in on 100 pitches, and the bullpen is busy for the Tribe. A.J. Pierzynski 0 for 2 will lead off for Chicago. He was squaring the bunt right there, but ball was down and in.
Well, who's going to run for him? That's what they used to say. You're going to bunt the ball, now who's going to run for you?
You need the fantasy camp pinch runner. Pierzynski pops it foul out of play. That's Tony Sipp up in the Tribe bullpen. Swung on and missed, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Justin deals, and Pierzynski hacks it right back over the screen. Pierzynski with a fly ball. Right field routine for Travis Buck. 1 away. And we'll pause now for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here today at Progressive Field, where the White Sox lead 3-2 in the 7th inning. Rios shoots it back. He's 0 for 2. Jesse Crane getting ready in the White Sox bullpen. Pretty good chance we'll see him. Got to think Edwin Jackson's day is over. One and one. Friday night it was one swing of the bat, a 3-run homer, resulting in the only runs of the game for Chicago. And here today, a RBI ground out in the first and a 2-run error in the 6th. Other than that, Masterson has been in command. That ball just got on top of his Drupal Cabrera and ate him up.
Looked like he wanted to play that ball off to the side a little bit, and I'm not so sure he couldn't have caught this ball. He decided to lay back on it. And you see how he goes back? It was like a humpback liner. I don't know if he had a good read on it coming off the bat. But he might have been able to just come in and try and catch that ball in the air. That's going to go as an error on Cabrera.
I couldn't tell. It almost looked like he made the motion to Orlando Cabrera like the ball was knuckling as it was coming to him.
It might be. And, well, you know, it wasn't hit hard, but he laid back. He decided to lay back on it.
Throw down, it goes into center field, and Rios is going to go to third.
Well, there's another error. Give him a stolen base and an error. The 3rd error of the game for the Indians, and the defense now starting to fall apart. You know, and he picked it. Rios picked him clean, and Santana comes up and just fires it right into center field, not even close to the bag. No, he will move on to third base. I got to bring the infield in now.
They are in, and Mark Tien 0 for 2 is the batter. And once again, the pressure is on Justin Masterson to try and pick his defense up here. And it's outside 1-1.
Now, this is the big out right here. You got to get this guy to either pop up, hit it right at one of your infielders, or strike him out. Because you don't want him to reach. You got Vizquel on deck, and even if you do go to the bullpen, this guy, he's capable of bunting or a squeeze play to add on to a run.
Strike called. (3-2) Chicago. They're looking to add a big insurance run here. The 1-2 pitch. And Tien will bloop it into right field. It drops 4-2 Chicago. Tien's first hit of the series, just his 11th RBI on the year.
Well, that's he went with the slider the pitch before, and that's not his bread and butter. His strength is that fastball, and you're looking for him to hit a ball on the ground. But you see, there's a slider he left middle of plate. I don't agree with that pitch selection right there.
But the Indians' defense has flat out given Chicago 3 runs now.
They certainly have. There's no question about it.
Omar Vizquel singled and scored in the 6th. Pitch out. Omar threw his bat, and he's out from me to you at second.
That's what you're supposed to do. You can't hit it. They pitched out. You throw the bat at it.
It was a little delayed, but he still
a little
threw
tardy.
it out there.
Yes, he did. Here you go. Watch this. That was slow motion. He just maybe the pine tar got stuck on his gloves. Well, I mean, there was nothing he could do anyway. They guessed right. They knew they were going to run, so he just that's right. It's hit and run.
Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. And he lines it to third to end the inning. But the White Sox, an error-aided insurance run. Stretch time, 4-2 Chicago. Time to get up and let's move it with the Cleveland Clinic's 7th inning stretch. Levin Furniture, home of Sealy's Posturepedic mattress, made in Northeast Ohio. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement. 4-2 Chicago, bottom of the 7th inning. A reminder to log on to Panini'sGrill.com for their new food and drink menu and a location near you. Now, in the meantime, the Chicago White Sox have made the Verizon call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Verizon 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. And it's a guy the Indians are familiar with. Longtime twin, Jesse Crane.
Yes. Jesse coming on for the 44th time. I mean, and he got a lot of work in Minnesota. He's got a good arm, throws in the low to mid 90s. One of the, 4 relievers that Minnesota lost over the offseason.
Talk about a mass exodus. Lonnie Chisenhall greets him with a fly ball to right field, but Quentin is back there to grab that one away. The Gathering Place, a wonderful charity. They support, educate, and empower individuals and family members who have been touched by cancer. And every time the Indians homer, Rick and I are donating $5 each to the Gathering Place. Great Clips donates $50, and our total so far this year, $5,400. For more information, visit touchedbycancer.org. Great needs, great deeds, great clips. Matt Laporta singled and scored for the Indians in the 5th. And it's a little bit high for ball 1. Right back, 1-1. Joe Smith getting loose in the Tribe bullpen. Chris Sale starting to heat up for Chicago. One ball, 2 strikes. There's the left-hander Sale. And Matt Laporta strikes out, 2 down here in the 7th. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Jesse Crane. Well, there are a few Grand Slam golfer packages left for the Indian Celebrity Golf Classic Thursday at Quail Hollow Country Club. You and 4 friends will play with a celebrity and enjoy breakfast, lunch, and a post-golf cocktail party. Visit Indians.com/golf or call 216-420-HITS to sign up now. Travis Buck fouls it out of play. Boston leading Seattle 8-3 at Fenway Park in the 5th inning. As the Red Sox try to send the Mariners to a 15th consecutive loss. Tigers are in action. That's an interesting 4 o'clock Sunday start, 3 o'clock in Minnesota.
Well, that may be, I'm thinking, because of the induction with Bert, that they didn't want to start it at 1 o'clock or something like that. They pushed the time back.
Ground ball to short. Alexi Ramirez throws him out. And the Indians go quickly here in the 7th. 4-2 Chicago. Now we go to the 8th inning, 4-2 Chicago. Top of the order for the White Sox due up here, and they'll face Joe Smith, who comes into the ballgame. Justin Masterson went 7 innings today. 4 runs, only 1 earned.
Yeah, it was a tough break for Justin today. The defense just did not play well behind him. So Joe Smith coming on, try and keep it a 4-2 game. Smitty's going to face the top of the lineup, Pierre Ramirez Canerco.
Juan Pierre, couple of hits and a run scored. Juan Pierre lifts the fly ball to center. And the old Bronx cheer for Ezekiel Carrero, 1 down. Our in-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. You wouldn't think with all those zeros up there that the White Sox would have 4 runs.
No, you're right, but they do. You not only have to pitch well, you have to catch it as well. Something the Indians didn't do today.
Down low. And a strike called to Alexi Ramirez, 2-1. Three balls and a strike. With 1 out here in the 8th inning, Tribe down 4-2. Strike called, full count. Now, this has been a huge inning for the Indians all season long, so it's imperative for Joe Smith to get his team back in the dugout as quickly as possible. The Indians have outscored the opposition 46-33 in the 8th inning this year, and they've done a lot of that damage here at home. Swung on and missed. In fact, so much of that damage has been done here at home today. Well, let's take a look at this first.
Well, this is the one that really cost him the 2 runs, and Masterson had a chance to get out of the inning. A 2-run error, and then Cabrera, normally he just eats that ball up. He broke back on it. They steal second, and they throw it into center field. There's the 2 errors in that inning. They get a base hit to let him come around to score. So 3 unearned runs by the Indians and 3 errors. That's the difference in the ball game today.
Talking about that 8th inning scoring advantage for the Indians, they've outscored their opponents 34-12 at home in the 8th inning this year. Canerco shoots it foul over toward the dugout. But you're right, normally you commit 3 errors and you're not even in the game probably. But they still are within striking distance, down 4-2. You mentioned that earlier in the game, and it's one of those things, sometimes you hate it when you're right. But you said, when you play divisional opponents, everybody knows everybody. And sometimes it's one mistake that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, break here or there. You know, not only did they get the 1 break, they made it a 3-2 game. Then they come right back and they let them add on 1 more, to make it a 4-2 game. It's tough enough the way this offense is going to come back and climb into it. I mean, they still have 6 outs to go, but tough to give up 3 runs when you haven't been scoring many more than 2. And the way the White Sox have played against the Indians this year, they don't need help getting runs because they've averaged about 6 runs a game. against the Tribe
Yeah,
this year.
have.
This is one where you finally got to try and keep them down.
And the 2-2 pitch. Got him looking. So Joe Smith does his part. He'll get him into the dugout. And we'll see if those Indians bats can find that home field magic once again. (4-2) White Sox. Bottom of the 8th inning, they'll go to their left-hander Chris Sale. Top of the order due up for the Indians. It'll be left-handed hitters Ezekiel Carrera and Michael Brantley. And then the switch hitting is Drupal Cabrera. And a first fastball strike to Carrera. Missed outside. And a count 1-1. Carrera with the RBI single in the 5th. But of course the costly error in the 6th inning. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. Sale has a terrific fastball. And he looks like a scarecrow out there on the mound.
Well, he signed last June and came right up and made it to the big leagues, and they were using him out of the bullpen. He was a starter. Got a piece of that ball to stay alive and, you know, put him in the bullpen. It's just that they had so many starters. That's where he could help the White Sox come out of the bullpen, and a left-handed power arm to help Matt Thornton. Gives him 2 lefties out of that pen late in the game.
Got him looking. 1 down.
And you not only does he have a good fastball, how about that slider? When you're left-handed, you see where it comes from. And Carrera takes it looking, and will take a walk back to the dugout. So out number 1 here in the 8th.
And Michael Brantley takes a look at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball strike. And it's quickly 0-2. And he got him looking at that breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sale, and he's overmatching the Tribe here in the 8th.
The Angels Indians play Tuesday night right here on Channel 3. Join us at 7 as Cleveland hosts Los Angeles Indians Angels. Tuesday night at 7 on Channel 3, your official Cleveland Indians station.
Asdrubal Cabrera looks at a strike. Angels, meanwhile, lead Baltimore 3-2. The O's have come back to make a game of that one in the 8th inning. Asdrubal tried to hold up. He went too far, says first base umpire Mike Estabrook, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Chris Sale has thrown 12 pitches, 10 for strikes.
Well, this is about as good as control as I think we've seen this kid have, and he comes in and makes it look easy, striking out the side on 12 pitches.
Four 4-2 Chicago, and we are in the 9th inning. Tony Sipp on to work for the Indians. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Joe Smith worked a 1-2-3-8, striking out a pair. Adam Dunn puts it in play on the first pitch. And Orlando Cabrera fumbled around with it. They still got him at first base.
Well, big Adam Dunn running, so it's a good thing. Cabrera right there just didn't hold on to it, but stayed with it. Throws it to first and just gets him.
Carlos Quentin 0 for 3 today. He has struck out twice, but that was against Justin Masterson, and he'd just as soon take the rest of his career off against Masterson, I think. Quentin now 1 for 19 against the Indians' right-hander.
Well, that's about the only guy that's been getting them out this year.
That's for sure. With regards to the Indians, yeah, he came in batting .500 against the Tribe this year.
Yeah, 3 homers, 12 ribbies in his 6 games today. But has struck out twice and a little easy ground ball to second base.
Don't forget to tune in later tonight on Sports Time Ohio for All Bets Are Off with Bruce Drennan, and then Jimmy Hanlon will be up with the Golf Zone at 9. So it all starts at 7 o'clock with Bruce, and then Jimmy at 9. The 2-1 swung on and missed to even the count. We'll put the finishing touches on today's game over on STO with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. Conrad's home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. And the 2-2. Slowly tapped foul third base side. White Sox closer Sergio Santos got the save Friday night. Oh man, that caught Santana square in the mask and staggered him.
Just redirected off the bat of Carlos Quentin right into the face mask.
And you hear the home plate umpire James Hoyt talking to Santana. I'll tell you what, that definitely staggered him a little bit there. Now Tony Sipp ready with the 2-2. And a liner into left field. So Quentin, as long as it's just not Justin Masterson on the hill, he picks right up where he left off. We'll get a pinch runner now for Quentin as Brent Lillibridge comes in. He'll come on defensively for Quentin anyway. So
that is correct.
So 1 on, 1 out for A.J. Pierzynski, 0 for 3 today. Pierzynski, a liner to left, another hit. So Sipp gives up back-to-back singles here in the 8th inning, and now the White Sox will bring up Alex Rios.
Pretty good at bat there. Pierzynski just taking Sipp the other way, not trying to do too much with it. Sox trying to add on here to a 4-2 lead. With just 1 out, it'll be the bottom part of the lineup. It's been 3 unearned runs for the White Sox today, given to them by the Indians defense.
Well, maybe here's a case where the Indians defense can turn a double play and get him out of the inning. Sip gets ahead with a first pitch strike to Rios, who grounded to short in the second inning, struck out in the fifth, and then he reached on an error in the seventh, stole second, went to third on another throwing error by the catcher Santana, and then came home on a fly ball or a base hit to right field by Mark Teahan. First he stepped off, and then he turned towards second. And he's either in between on what pitch he wants to throw. Ball, one strike. Lillibridge and Pierzynski on the bases for Chicago. Fouled back out of play, 1-2. Sundays are supposed to be kind of slow and have that lazy pace to them, but boy, this game has ground to a halt.
Well, it has right now since Tony's come in. I don't know if he and Santana are on the same page or what.
There's the 1-2. And Rios fights it off. Over in the National League today, St. Louis trying to sweep a series from Pittsburgh. They lead the Pirates 3-2. St. Louis beginning the day tied for the top spot in that NL Central with the Pirates a game back. Cincinnati 4 off the pace. The turn, nothing doing at second again. Milwaukee's out in San Francisco trying to cool off the red-hot Giants who've won 7 of their last 10. They've opened a 4-game lead over Arizona. The Reds are at home tonight against Atlanta. Wow, this at-bat is taking the slowdown approach to a whole nother level. Back out of play. Now Santana wants to go out and talk things over with Sip. Tampa Bay shutting out Kansas City 2-0. They're in the 6th at Kauffman Stadium. Boston hammering Seattle 11-3. Pretty safe bet now that the Mariners will drop their 15th in a row.
Wow, that is hard to do.
They were a game over 500. They were 43-42 before this streak. Back out of play. There are trade rumors. I was getting some messages earlier about DJ Upton. You know, is that a guy the Indians are interested in? Is that a potential move they would seek? BJ Upton, I'm told, not in the lineup today for Tampa.
Well, that deadline approaching. What's there, another week to go?
I think it's 1 week from today.
Uh-huh.
The rumors are going to start picking up hot and heavy now. The 1-2 in the dirt gets by Santana, and the runners will move up.
Wild pitch here now allows 2 runners to get in the scoring position. Breaking ball in the dirt. And Rios has had a pretty good at bat, following a lot of pitches off from Sip, so they go with the breaking ball. This one slides underneath the glove of Santana.
Indians have brought the infield in now. Almost took out Lillibridge. He went down to his knees.
Yeah, he had no chance to get out of the way. He just took the elevator to the ground floor. Watch, he's got that front foot landing just as he couldn't move left or right. The only thing he could do is go down, and he just did get out of the way. Because when you're walking off third base like that, that's where you want that right foot to land right as that ball's getting into the hitting area. But he smokes us. He's lucky he didn't get hit.
Now the 2-2 popped him up on the infield. Orlando Cabrera will take it. 2 down. That at bat lasted almost 7 minutes for Alex Rios. There were only 9 pitches thrown, but Sip finally prevails to get the second out. And that's going to bring up Mark Teahan, who was 1 for 3. He had a big RBI hit back in the 7th inning. That extended the White Sox lead to 2 runs. Down low, 1 ball, no strikes. The bunt goes foul as Teahan tried to surprise the Indians.
Well, and that's exactly what it would have been, because Chisenhall way back, with 2 outs, you're figuring catch it, knock it down. You're not thinking bunt. How many times is he going to face a left-hander in this situation? So he went for the element of surprise. Didn't work, fouled it off.
Now Tony Sip ready with a 1-1. And Teahan pops it up on the infield. Cabrera converge as Drupal takes it. And the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 9th, 4-2 Chicago. 4-2 Chicago. We go to the bottom of the ninth here at Progressive Field. White Sox will stay with Chris Sale to start the bottom of the ninth. Meanwhile, Brent Morrell takes over at third. And Brent Lillibridge goes into the ball game in right field.
Now, he'll probably leave Sale in here for one hitter, Hafner, and then go to his closer. He did that on Friday night.
Hafner, the left-handed hitter, and then you've got Santana, the switch hitter, and Orlando Cabrera from the right side.
Let Thornton stay in the game on Friday and then brought in Santos for the save. So the Indians down a pair. They've got to get something going, and they do need base runners.
Down low, ball one to Prunk. His RBI single in the sixth. Cut it to a one-run game at that point, but then Chicago picked up another run afterwards. Big bouncer to Omar Vizquel. One away. And Ozzie Guillen will come out and make the move now to the right-hander, Sergio Santos. So an inning and a third of perfect relief for Chris Sale. And we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field with the White Sox leading it 4-2. Night's rainout, the post-game concert by Lifehouse was pushed back, and they'll have that concert coming up after the ball game this afternoon. A couple of guys from the band right there getting ready. Meanwhile, it's Sergio Santos.
Now down to their last two outs. Santos looking for his 20th save. Got number 19 I mentioned on Friday night. He's got two outs to go. Santana and then Orlando Cabrera, the scheduled hitter, on deck.
Carlos Santana 0 for 3. And it's ball one outside. Well, the Angels opened up that lead against Baltimore 8-2. They're now in the ninth inning. The Angels come in here tomorrow night to start a 3-game series. 2-0 to Santana. Tigers Twins will be underway in about 20 minutes from Minneapolis. Tell you what, Seattle's not going without a fight. They've closed the gap to 11-7 on the Red Sox, and they're still batting in the 7th inning. Three balls, no strikes. So here you go. One more wide one, and the tying run comes to the plate. Ball 4, and a tying run will come to the plate here in the 9th inning for Cleveland. Santana down to first. And Orlando Cabrera 0 for 3 will be the batter. Santos ready. He delivers. And it's ball 1 up high. And Pierzynski's going to have to go out and chat with his closer. He's missed with 5 straight. Lonnie Chisenhall waits on deck. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Orlando Cabrera has struck out twice today. He is grounded to short. As well, that came back in the 4th inning. Taking all the way. And Santos finds the strike zone. Tom Bochenek, who's been like a dark cloud here lately. He hasn't given us anything positive to talk about, but he says Santos has not given up an earned run on the road this year.
Well, that could be about time.
Maybe
Teflon Tom doesn't want it to stick to him. He's going to move it right on down the line. Base hit here.
In the air to center field. Rios will make the catch. 2 down. That'll leave it up to Lonnie Chisenhall to keep it alive for the Tribe. Chisenhall 1 for 3 today. He singled back in the 2nd inning. 3 for 6 in the series for the rookie third baseman. Runner goes. Santos delivers low.
Yeah, they're giving Santana. They don't care about him second base. Konerko playing deep and on the line.
He really is. I mean, he is hugging the line.
But you don't see this this White Sox outfield way back to the warning track in that no doubles. They're taking it away on the corner over here at first base.
A strike called to even the count of 1-1.
Fastball right there.
That might have been low. That missed. 2 balls and a strike. Now how big is that previous pitch? Instead of 2-1, it could be 3-0 right here. And the wheels would start to tighten for Santos. Still Chisenhall in a good count here. There's ball 3. He gets aboard. Matt Laporta is next. Three-one pitch. Chisenhall pops it foul and into the seats. So a full count.
Well, you need a ball 4 base hit. Keep it going.
A little over 25,000 here today, hoping to see the Indians keep this game alive. And the payoff pitch is grounded towards second base. A diving stop by Vizquel and throws, and they got him. Oh, man, what a play by Omar Vizquel to take what looked like a hit away from Lonnie Chisenhall and end the ball game.
Yeah, you see they were playing on the line, so that ball is definitely in the hole. But Omar is able to slap it down, get up, and make the throw to end the ball game. Konerko didn't even go for the ball. You trusted his second baseman, and it happens just to be Omar Vizquel. We've seen it before. We see it again. And the Indians go down. Santos gets his 20th save. White Sox win the 2 games here in Cleveland.
The future Hall of Famer ends this ball game in dramatic fashion as Chicago hangs on to win it by a final score today of 4-2. Winning pitcher today is Edwin Jackson, who goes to 7-7 on the year. And you talk about a tough luck loser. Justin Masterson drops now to 8-7 on the season. And Sergio Santos ends up with the save. That'll be number 20 for the White Sox right-hander. With the win, Chicago now 49-51 as they creep closer to that 500 mark. The Indians drop to 51-48. Time now for our play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, big play. 2 out, 6th inning, 2 men aboard. They intentionally walk Konerko. Back there, out number 3. No, it's not. Goes off the glove of Ezekiel Carrera. Falls down in there. There's the 2 runs that really actually propelled the White Sox. I don't know what happened to him, if he lost it, but it comes down. He didn't make the play. Difference in the ball game right there. That's going to be our key play of the game.
So the Indians fall 4-2, the final score. Indians have now dropped 5 straight at home as the White Sox beat them today 4-2. For those of you watching here on Channel 3, stay tuned. The Dew Tour Countdown Special is straight ahead. For the rest of you, tune in to Sports Time Ohio for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. It's coming up next.